Hi, I'm Joseph Mechavich, and I'm here to talk about the third opera of the Brown-Forman 2018-2019 season, held at the Brown Theatre, Giuseppe Verdi's Rigoletto. This piece, Rigoletto, ushers in Verdi's middle period. His first period of compositional style really focused on the heroic and the patriotic themes. Here he's now finally getting into the drama. He's starting to access novels and novellas and stories that everyone in Europe or in Italy are reading right now. So basically the Daniel Steels that are hitting the shopping malls in Venice and Rome, Verdi now sees that these are opportunities to tell the story. So he found this play, Le Roi s'amusait by Victor Hugo, which really inspired him. In fact, let me read you a quote that Verdi wrote about this character, the character Rigoletto. The subject is great, enormous, and there is a character who is one of the greatest creations of which the theater of all nations and all times may boast. So he was very excited about writing this piece. There's something called numbered opera. Numbered opera is traditionally what we hear when we hear Mozart, Rossini, Donizetti. Numbered opera is always delineated by when you hear something like this, you clap. And it's united through recitative most of the time. Verdi's earlier works had that dynamic to it. As we enter this middle period, he's starting to have a through composition where you don't have so many clapping moments, that it's the drama keeps going and going and going. And we see that in Falstaff, we see that in Otello in his last operas. But Rigoletto really started this whole idea of moving forward. There are a lot of themes in this. Verdi is starting to use some themes to bring it back. The very first theme that you hear in the short little prelude here is the Monteroni's curse theme, which comes back, at least I know, outside of the prelude, about 6 times you hear throughout the opera. And that's accompanied by trumpets and trombones and brass. It has a very scary and sinister quality to it. So here, Maestro Verdi is starting not only just to tell the story through compose, but he's using the orchestra with themes so that the listener feels that united. Ben Moore, in our second opera that we had this season, does the same exact thing. He brings back melodies so that you, the listener, have this unification of the piece, and it brings back emotions at certain times. And Verdi is experimenting with this as well. Soon after this Monterone's little prelude here, we in the Party of the Duke. So it's a lovely, vivacious music. This whole mood and creating the mood that the drama is, Verdi is experimenting with. And here, when we are introduced to the character Sparafucile, Verdi creates this amazing music to establish the quality on stage. Here's the curse theme. And next we have Sparafucile's music. And that has muted brass, it has the pizzicati in the string, and it gives it a wonderful, spooky, sinister quality. Now, Verdi, in keeping with this tradition, in keeping with this exploration of character, in keeping with this exploration of the drama, at hand. He has the character Gilda, the young girl who, through this opera, actually transforms from a girl into a woman, where she falls in love and falls in love not just in the puppy love, but in the sense as a real human being falling in love. And Verdi writes this quintessential aria. Everyone knows it. Everyone has heard it, Caro nome. And the way that he sets it up, you can feel Gilda's excitement. You can sense Gilda's palpitations of her heart. And really what's happening here, it's not so much when she sings or when the orchestra's playing, but it's in the rests. It's in those moments of silence in between the melody. The rests is where the meaning is. In fact, Giuseppe Verdi says, rests are pregnant with meaning, and that certainly is true here in Gilda's aria. So it's in those trills, it's in those rests that you really hear Gilda's anticipation, her love, her youthfulness, her youthful qualities. Now, talking about numbered opera being the fact that there's always something to clap. A set piece. Certainly we have arias, certainly we have duets. Rigoletto is full of duets. There's many more duets than there are arias. But then we have a very famous quartet. And the quartet is a chance for the characters to relate their own emotions, relate their own facts, relate their own text on top of each other. So during this quartet that happens later on in the opera, before the very end, you have the Duke here. His melody, his text is seducing. He's right here, he's seducing Maddalena, the character Maddalena. Here's the Duke's tune. So that's the Duke's tune, seducing Maddalena. It's very masculine the way that it's written. And composers do think about this. They just don't have a tune and then set words to it. They actually pace around the room. All composers do with the text and find the tune, find the right shape, the right architecture of the phrase so that it can tell the story, so that the words fit the music. The character Maddalena in this quartet, here she is a suspect of her loyalties, and her line is very disjunct. So you hear this. It's short, and it's all over the place. The character Gilda, she's sad and at the loss of love, and her melody, her tune, descends in pitch and slumps. And then the character Rigoletto, he is unmoved, and his music is very regular, very, very regular. Now I'll play all these together. I can't play them all together, but this is sort of the groove, when this all happens. So that's the quartet. That's sort of the construction of how Verdi puts something like that together. So that's some of the music from Giuseppe Verdi's Rigoletto, a wonderful piece of theater that rounds out the Brown-Forman 2018-2019 season at the Brown Theater. And I'll see you down there. And special thanks once again to GIST Piano Center.